Yo, what's going on? This is the NRW Nerds Rule the World. It's your boy, Kuya P, aka Patrick Michael Strange, and I'm here to talk with an amazing creator, longtime friend, international cosplayer, y'all. The homie, Annie Mia. What is up, homie?
Hey, how are you doing? How's it going?
I'm good. This is so fun because, I talk a lot with a lot of people, as do you, but I'm interviewing a lot of people. But when it's your friend, people that you know, I get to show love to my friend right now. That's what I'm loving right now. I get to show you love. And so I love it. I'm so excited. And man, I got to give you your flowers. I got to give you your props. You went from, superstar cosplayer to now comics creator with work with Dynamite, all the projects you've been doing. And now Bettie Page, The Alien Agenda, issue 3 will be dropping this week as of this release. We're like the week ahead right now as we're recording this, but Bettie Page and The Alien Agenda will be dropping right before this. And I have this interview out right as it comes out. So just head over to your LCS, your local comic shop, go cop issue number 3 of Bettie Page, The Alien Agenda from Dynamite Entertainment. So my girl, Annie Mia, again, mad love to you. How did this whole Bettie Page rollout happen with Dynamite? Take me back to did they hit you up? They're like, yo, what's good, Annie Mia? What's good, Dynamite? How did this all go down?
I mean, honestly, a little bit like that, but I think it went all the way back to when I started doing writing about cosplay. So I've been writing about cosplay for Otaku USA magazine. God, I think for 7 or 8 years now. It's the last remaining anime magazine in the United States. Back in the day, they used to have the CDs that would come in there, or it was the DVDs with the first episodes of anime, so you could try them out. But yeah, so they're the last remaining ones. I've been writing articles about cosplay for them, and then that got me writing for Cosplay Central their website, which is run by Reed Pop, who does New York Comic Con and all that. And then I guess, Dynamite saw that and my Previews World stuff, and they were like, hey, we saw you like to write. Do you want to do some writing? I'd already been doing cosplay covers for them before. So they were just they introduced this idea to me, and I was like, I've been writing since I was a little kid. And I've just never let anyone read any of it. Which is really funny because now my first time it's everyone's reading it. That's this huge audience. But yeah, so I always wanted to write, so I jumped at the chance, and I knew nothing about how to write a comic, nothing at all. So I went out and bought 4 books on Amazon, and I read them all in 2 days, and I'm taking notes I'm back in college, okay, exactly how do you do this? Because there's no real set format for a script.
Yeah,
everyone does theirs really different. There's this great book that I got that shows different script writers and how their scripts look. Mine are very Gail Simone, where it's very panel description and kind of going through that. And then you look at Kevin Smith's, and his read a movie script. It's just a movie script because that's what he's used to.
Yeah.
And then I forget who it is, and there's every panel, the description's this long. And I'm that poor artist.
Right.
So I basically took in all this information in 4 days, came up with an idea, wrote it out, and was here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because originally I was going to have a co-writer. So it was going to be me writing with someone else, because they were you've never done this before. We'll get you someone writing with you. And before they even found anyone, I was ooh, here's my script I wrote. And then they read it. And
I love it.
I don't think you need a co-writer. And that was how it happened.
There we go. That's that Asian overachiever in us right there.
I made my mom proud.
I love it. There we go. I don't need no ghostwriter or help. I got this. There we go. So Dynamite Entertainment, I know, I'm pretty sure you were familiar because of, as a fan, their characters, they have a large pantheon of amazing characters that have been, around for a long time. What kind of did you have to do like any homework? So like when they approached you, like, did they say which specific character they wanted you to, maybe work on? And then after you found that out, like, okay, so now I got to do some homework on that character. Tell me how that process was.
Yeah, so they originally approached me with Bettie Page. So they were like, we're going to give you a one-shot Bettie Page, kind of see what you can do. And what's kind of funny is when I wrote it, like, I didn't even know how many pages I had. I like literally Googled what's the average number of pages in a comic book and went with that. And then they were like, well, actually, you have 2 less pages. And I'm like, so I actually had to edit my script. But no, it was, coming back to it and having this character that I kind of knew. Like, I knew her through like pinup stuff because I've done like boudoir and that 1950s like rockabilly kind of thing. Like, I feel like I knew who Bettie Page was, but I didn't really know a lot about her. So yeah, I had to go and like read a couple of the comics, and I caught on to this whole idea that they've got going where she's, this kind of international spy, and she was going after a banshee in the one just before mine. So I was like, you know what? I love cryptids. Let's keep it going. Let's do Bigfoot. I'm a Pacific Northwest girl at heart. So like, we love Bigfoot here. Seriously, we freaking love him. It's everywhere. We have Bigfoot coffee, Bigfoot car dealership, like you name it. There's a Bigfoot something in Washington State. So it just kind of came natural, and it was really fun to kind of incorporate what I knew from my personal life, and then what I knew of Betty and the woman that she is, which is really this just badass woman that, in the 1950s, she was kind of going outside the box of what everyone else was doing. In the 1950s, it was very like the frilly dresses and the housewives and all that kind of stuff. And she was doing a lot of pinup and a lot of like nude stuff as well, so she was like this big risk taker, and she's kind of credited as being like the first pinup girl, like, I think she probably inspired like Dita Von Teese, who now does, kind of that same thing, but she's like our era's Bettie Page.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's this mix of like smart and sexy, and I really loved getting to play with that.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I love that. And like you were saying earlier, myself included, I know her from pinups and all of that, and the boudoir and the visuals. That's what I've seen. And but I've never really like looked into it, and I wasn't sure if she was like a real person too. Because I think weren't there like even like was there cinema with Bettie Page? Was that like a character? Like, what is the roots? Was it a comic character, or was it just like this archetype? Like, no, I want to say it was like illustration from back then too. Was the origins,
she was a real person, and she was a model. So she actually had like a really crazy life. Like I think she like lived in the Midwest, and then she went out to New York City to be a model.
Wow.
And she had some very bad experiences, traumatic experiences while in New York City, assault and whatnot. And so she went through a really hard life, and then she, became the Bettie Page that we know, and who's very like headstrong and a very independent woman of her time.
Wow.
And yeah, she's lived on. I think she was like 84 when she passed away, like in the 90s or early 2000s. And what's kind of funny is there's a house not too far from where I live, because Seattle, we love all this kind of stuff. We're very open. And so there is a house that, for as long as I've known, actually has a giant, there's a barn, and they have like a 3-story mural of Bettie Page on the side, and you can see it from the freeway whenever you're going up and down the freeway.
Dope.
So it's called the Bettie Page house. So yeah, it's kind of funny that I'm writing for Bettie Page now.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Like, I'm so blown away right now. Like, I've always been aware, but now, dude, now I want to look into this real person, and now has this comic life. That's I love stuff like that. As a history buff and as a comics fan, and now that she's kind of like living on for her fans and for the people now in the pages, and you're writing her stories. That's amazing. That's cool. So you did your homework. and you kind of kept some of the elements that you loved from the previous run that was on there, and you were exploring they explored a little bit of a cryptozoic type of stuff, right? So with this one, it's the alien agenda. So tell me how this germ of an idea with alien agenda. So did they say they wanted to, like, give me into this? Like,
yeah. So
like, does Anna Mia believe in aliens like I do? Are you going out to Area 51?
I do. I
love it,
100% have seen weird stuff in the sky.
Let's go.
I lived in a haunted house. I fully believe in all sorts of weird stuff. Like, yes, there is stuff we don't know. But yeah.
Yes.
So after we did the Bigfoot thing, it was a whole Indiegogo thing, and it was super successful for them. And they were like, all right, let's do a 5-issue series. Go ahead and give us what you want to do. And it just clicked with me. I'm gonna do aliens, because that was like the next big thing. That's like, oh, I could do this whole. It's different when you have like one issue that you can do, because it's like 22 pages. It's different when you have a whole 5 issues, because that's 100+ pages. And I really wanted to do something that paid homage to the like movies that I loved growing up. So like Indiana Jones, The Goonies, The Mummy. And so I really got inspired by that, and I wanted it to be kind of a treasure hunt. Ooh. I wanted it to be this kind of adventure where like each issue you're going to a new place and having new challenges. And I wanted like some of the puzzles to be a little bit interactive. So there's going to be ones where like maybe the reader can figure out where they're going next, from the clues. So I wanted it to have this kind of like, you are going on an adventure with them. And yeah, I just wanted it to feel like a classic 80s Steven Spielberg kind of adventure movie.
Oh, I'm excited. I love this. Okay, I haven't picked up issues 1 and 2 yet, y'all. So don't be like me. Go also, as this is dropping, issue 3 will be available in stores May 11th. Cop it. And if you didn't pick up 1 and 2, go cop those so you can get this full story. I'm not going to ask Mia to give us any spoilers, because we need to go on this ride and this journey together. But so that's kind of what we're gonna get with these 5 issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And so this is set in the 50s too, because as you said, this character is in the 50s. Is that the time period as well?
Yeah, so it's the 1950s, 1958. And then I actually gave her like a little, in this one, I gave her a little team to work with. So she's got, I created 2 new characters. You've got Youngja, which is, a Korean young girl who is this kind of really smart brainiac, loves to eat, and is a little bit lazy. Kind of I have a friend that I kind of based her off of. Cool. And then you have Sophia, who is a Puerto Rican woman who is a professor at a university and really just wants to be taken seriously because it's the 1950s. And she's, a woman of color at a university. And she's like, I need to make a discovery so people will stop hounding me for like, look at my office. I have this dinky office. What? I need a nice office. I need something. So they're all going on this adventure together. And so it's kind of this fun mix of women going on an adventure together and kicking ass. So
it's like feminist icon, girl power, all of that. That's so dope and needed, especially in these crazy dark times. I'm not even going to go into the insanity that happened this week, but we need heroes like this and know that we're heroes. And well, women, I love that. It's so important. I speak that because I'm a girl dad. And so I always want products for my daughter to feel that, she can be empowered. So this is so beautiful. Thank you for this, Mia.
Aw,
I love it. Awesome. So again, I don't want to ask anything that will spoil anything. Because again, I want y'all to go cop the book in stores now. As of this one, it's going to be out here. So go cop it. Issue 3 is out. The Alien Agenda, Bettie Page. So 5 issues. So are all 5 issues already written, or
they're already written? Okay. I again, like when I did the first one, I was a crazy woman and I literally wrote all 5 issues in like a week and a half.
Look at you.
Because I was just it just flowed out of me. It just came out, and he was like, "All right, well, do you have like an idea of what you're doing?" I was like, here you go. I did that again. And he's like, okay, we weren't expecting this, but this is great. So yeah, it's already written. And it's been really interesting to like learn the process of like, you know, all the editing and seeing all the steps as they come along. And it's, you know, okay, well, you get the sketches in first and you look at those and see if that's what you like, and working with the artist to make sure that, you know, the vision is clear for everyone. It's been a learning experience, and it's been so much fun, especially doing a 5-issue run, because everything kind of like overlaps, because
Yeah.
it's one a month. So it's like you're working on almost like 3 different things at comics at one time at some points. So I'm glad I'm not an editor. I don't have to keep track of all that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how they do that.
So shout out, you mentioned the artist. Who's the artist you're working with on this? And I know there's a bunch of spectacular additional cover artists that I have also you get to see do this, which is, as a comics fan, I'm sure is amazeballs. Like, yo, that artist did this cover. Like, what?
So what's cool is for Alien Agenda, I got to like really pick who I wanted to work with. Like, they gave me ideas of different artists. And when I saw that Salor, who I'm working with, had worked on Hack Slash before, which I love Hack Slash, I was like, yes, I want him to do mine. So that was, it's amazing to get to work with him on these 5, because he's done such amazing work, especially when he's like, I don't really understand what you want on this panel. And then I send him a stick drawing and I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're going to get a stick, horrible, crappy stick drawing. And then he turns it into something beautiful. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, I'm sorry, this is the best I can do. But I've also worked with Jonathan Lau, who has done some amazing work. And I've Joshua Burns. I'm just trying to think off the Lisner has done. That's an amazing, like, to have him do a cover.
Yes, Cry for Dawn is a classic.
Yes, so it's kind of crazy. Because I don't have any say in the covers. So even I'm just like, I go and look it up and I'm like, what are the covers coming out? And I'm like, ooh, that's so pretty.
Oh, as a comics fan and as your friend, I just love this for you. I'm just so happy, so delighted and excited to just see this issues roll out, and just this, you continue to build this kind of new career. And I'm curious, for you, like, you're doing it. You obviously knocked out all 5 issues already. It's done in the can. You got that out the system. What is this vibe like? Are you motivated, or like, how are we gonna? And you're still doing the cosplay thing. You're still doing previous, but like, is this a start of just more Animia, like killing it in comics? Like, what's going on?
I think
and like, what
so.
other characters do you want to write? Like, what do you want to do? Like, like, is Dynamite gonna lock you down? Give you we want the Dynamite exclusive on Animia. She's gonna be Vampirella next. She's gonna be, like, what's going on with you? And like, what's the vibe for you, homie?
So like, I still do cosplay because right now that's the moneymaker. I'm still getting, I'm a baby in comics, right? So in comics, it's not the most lucrative thing, when you're getting into it. So you got to do the bread and butter. But like, yes. I'm really getting into writing, and like, I'm already starting. I've mapped out and started like a long series that I want to do, that I'm making my own, that is going to be a horror series.
Let's go.
Like, I love horror movies, so I want to do a really kick-ass horror, like, if a horror movie was a comic, that's what I want to do. And so I've already got an 1.5 issues written. And then I can't say anything else, but you may be seeing some more stuff from me from Dynamite in the future, but I can't say anything.
Okay. Not gonna get you in trouble.
I know, I probably shouldn't even said that, but okay, I'm just gonna do it. And then
well, they already know you're with the team. When you're already with like your team, that could happen. So
yeah,
we'll move past that.
And then, God, if I could write for a character, I would want to write for Silk. Ooh. I would really like to write for one, just to be able to write for a Marvel character would be amazing, but to be able to write for a Korean American character, being a Korean American would be so kick-ass. It would just, yeah, that would be my ultimate if I could like do something really bold. Like I feel like my comics, like you know, the Bigfoot comic, it's G-rated, right? Like that's Mia dipping her toes into the comic world. I'm not trying to scare them yet, right? And then the next series, I'm like, okay, so we might kill some people. There might be some action, you know, but we're still gonna take it easy, right?
Yeah.
And then the rest, I'm like, no, I'm gonna go nuts, and I'm just gonna be like, it's gonna be bloody, it's gonna be crazy, it's gonna be like, I want the action, I want to go there. So.
All right. I am here for it. And I love it, yo. Let's manifest that. Let's get Silk over at Marvel. Let's get this horror popping, whether it's at Image or whatever. Let's make that all happen. Manifest that. Mia, you are amazing. You are so kind, so sweet.
You've been kicking butt too. I've been watching you. Oh my God. You've been talking to some amazing people. I'm just always like, wow.
I appreciate that, homie. Just trying to put in a work as well. You know, we gotta rep out here, and I love that you also repping Koreans out here. You know, that's what I'm all about with my Filipinos out here. So just API squad. Yes. It's our month right now.
Yeah, so it's our month right now.
Let's continue showing that, you know, we're here. We have a voice. And we're going to use it. And I love that you're using yours. And I'm so excited for you. And I can't wait to support you as you continue to build on this journey, y'all. Bettie Page, The Alien Agenda, y'all. It's out from Dynamite Entertainment. Go cop issues 1, 2, and 3 now in stores. And stay tuned because I plan to do my Asian Barbara Walters with Anna Mia coming up very soon. In another month, we'll have that full interview drop. I'm going to dig in and find out everything about this amazing person that I have as a friend here. So we could continue to show love and light and support her on her journey. Because right now, this is just a chapter right now. She's still on her journey. She's still building. So let's learn a little bit more for right now. But my homie, Anna Mia, yo, how can they reach out to you, follow you? I will have it in the description below, y'all. So if you're driving right now, don't crash. It'll be in the description. You can check that out later. But for those that are listening and can remember, got that memory skills on point, how can they reach out to you on Twitter, IG, all of that?
Pretty much Anna Mia official on anything. If you Google Anna Mia cosplay and then like Facebook or whatever, it's the first thing that pops up. I'm pretty easy to find.
There you go. Show my homie love. I love her so much. Anna Mia, y'all. For me, it's the legend Kuya P on Twitter, TikTok, and IG. Of course, Show Pal Show, AAPI Toy Heroes, my new toy podcast. I gotta have you on that too, by the way. I just thought about that because I know you're a toy collector. And now I just started this podcast where I rep our representation within toys. So I think I need to have Anna Mia up on that joint. We'll make that happen too. Okay. I love it. Yo, API Toy Heroes. And of course, here at the NRW Annual Release Wednesday, where nerds rule the world. Yo, go cop Bettie Page, The Alien Agenda right now. We out of here.
Hey everyone, Anna Mia here, and I am here with the NRW, and we have been talking about Bettie Page, my comic book, and a whole bunch of things about comics and cosplay and just everything cool that's going on. So make sure to check it out and make sure to pick up Bettie Page, The Alien Agenda at your local comic shop. Issue 3 out now. Go get it.
There we go.